teams switch sides, and we are ready to go here for the second period of action in Saxton's River, Vermont. St. Paul's 2 on the road against Vermont Academy, who has no score so far. And we're underway with Schubert playing it out wide. Flynn moves it right side. You got to be sharp there on that first shift. And that was Malcolm Bussey, who already has a goal this game. Yeah, the opening goal of the evening, or the afternoon rather, for St. Paul's. Moving in on the right side, or left side was Schubert. It was Sullivan and then Cox, but the shot went off the leg there. I think that was Riley O'Connor who had the block. Jack Glusey has that puck pinned up against the wall. Glad to see him back out here for the second period. He took a hit. He went an awkward, didn't really take a hit. It was an awkward collision with Mick Frechette late in the first. And he skated to the bench rather gingerly, but he looks to be okay. And Schubert scores! And Joe Schubert adds his own. It's 3-0 St. Paul's. A second assist on the afternoon for Cooper Flinton, who backhanded that blind pass out from behind the net, and Schubert was alone on the back door. Plenty of time and space for number 17 in white, and it is 3-0 Big Red. At 17 from 22. I was going to talk about how Flinton already had, he seemed to be all around the puck. He had an assist, and he gets another assist there. Certainly looks much better on the, well, not better, but the small ice sheet seems to be to his advantage, as Halliday one that was stopped by Kusenski. It's moved in front for Halliday again, but actually getting his stick in the way of that pass was his own teammate Owen Stadheim. It's moved out here by Potvin. Back with it is Bryson Russell. St. Paul's controlled much of the play in the first. Although Vermont Academy had 2 power plays. Here comes Hepp, here to goal. Jack Hepp is in! And I think he missed wide there on the shot. Kusenski finally got a piece of it. Trickled back towards the middle of the ice. It's tapped out by Halliday. He finds Owen Sweet. Halliday back to the front. He's on his backhand and left it for Stadheim, who was forced out, or had that shot forced wide by the angle of Kusenski. Here's Sweet, he spins around a man trying to get free. That was Quincy Green who was all over him. It's Hepp at the line, he fanned on the shot, and it's right onto the stick here of Aiden Andrews. Andrews will play it in. It was tapped out by Russell, but he couldn't knock it down completely. Stretch pass here, tapped back by Stadheim, and St. Paul's will slingshot it forwards. Owen Sweet gains the red line and will stump it in. St. Paul's is changing on the play. Turned over here. Now it's side ball. Swinging it back door. That was Frechette there. He had that pass just jump over his stick. After a turnover, I'm not sure who turned that puck over for Vermont Academy. There's a glove on the ice right now. It's the Vermont Academy glove. It's the glove of Charles Olivier Gagden. One of only two returning players on this Vermont Academy squad. We talked about in the first period all that turnover they had with losing 15 players to graduation. Frechette was coming in, meanders across the middle before tossing it right side. Here's Charles Culver now in the face-off circle. Culver at the half wall. Alex Levine walks the line. A shot through traffic there. Seibold was coming back to the front of the cage, but a save was made by Kusenski. And we get a stoppage. This is pretty much an entirely new Vermont Academy squad. And they had 2 pretty tight games at the start, falling by only a goal to North Yarmouth Academy and then Brewster Academy. 3-2 twice.
Come on, guys, get something going.
But tossed in front and it's Schubert again. I think he maybe hit the post. I heard something clank. Kusenski did a good job of coming back across, but Schubert's got a quick trigger pull, so I wouldn't be surprised if that one went off the post. There's really no excuse up here. We should be able to see everything. It's laid off for Sullivan coming in. Knocked out of the air there by Malone. And Kusenski had to be sharp. He makes 2 saves on the play. If you stop the original shot from Sullivan, and then that rebound, good hand-eye there by Malone to get that puck on goal. Sullivan jumping up in the rush again. He had some space there on Andrew Peloso. Peloso, the other returning player, by the way. Here's Sweet, a nice little move. He just couldn't finish. All tied up on there on the shots. Guarding the line was Malone. He'll lean in, fakes the shot, tried to move to the middle. Instead, it's just dished outside. Schubert tossed it to the front of the net. It just ended up back on the wall. Here's Cox stepping in. He ran into some trouble, and Potvin got in the way of that. Icing is waved off, and Sullivan will move back for it. Sullivan, that puck was turned over as Sullivan, who fell down, and coming out in front was Luzzy. And Murphy making a good save there with the shoulder. Vermont Academy in the offensive zone. It was centered for Luzzy, blocked off a leg. The passer there was Jeff Simon. Here's Cody White. White spinning and turning. He's a junior out of Orange, Connecticut. Makes that pass up left side. Good step there by Hepp. He cut it off, and now he's going to get a shot off, too, as he was coming back towards the middle of the ice. I was trying to see who he stepped up on. That was Luzzy, the intended target there. Turned into a good offensive zone opportunity, as I think that was Owen Sweet who found Hepp in the middle. Hepp has been very active so far. Here's White in a one-on-one with Hepp. And he's going to launch a shot right through the legs of the St. Paul's defenseman. He uses the Big Red player there, Hepp, as a screen. Good save through that screen by Murphy, and a face-off off to the left. The St. Paul's has added a third goal here in this second period, and it is that of Joe Schubert. Shot from the line is blocked. Look out, Flinton's going to go the other way. It could be a 2-on-1. Bussy's coming through too. Flinton plays it in front for Bussy. And Ben Potvin, the junior out of Laval, Quebec that is. He had a good block there. Center off the side of the goal for Bryson Russell. Oh, sleek little play there by Owen Sweet. A very savvy move by number 8 in white. And put that puck off the outside of the net and get a good opportunity on the stick of Russell. That was stopped by Kusenski. Shots in the first period, by the way. We had them clocked at 17-7 in favor of St. Paul's. And there have been many more here in the second. I think, did I say shot after the first? Shot after the first was 17-7. I don't know if I said first or second. I might have gotten that all tied up. If I did, I'd clarify. If I didn't, I still clarify. There's Riley O'Connor. I think he was the best player out there. It was either him or Luzzy who were the best players out there for Vermont Academy in that first frame. He got that puck deep in the zone. He's battling for it now as it comes up to Gagnon. Played off a skate of a Wildcat player, and Charles Culver takes advantage. Culver coming in, but St. Paul's is offside at the line, and we get a stoppage. 11:53 on the clock. These two teams had never met before last year. Last year was St. Paul's is the Big Red's first. It's hard to say St. Paul's is their first year in the Lakes region. They played a partial schedule, playing every team once. They're still kind of on that partial schedule basis. They play almost every team twice, including the Wildcats. These two teams will meet later in the season, but they do not play Tilton twice or KUA twice. And I mentioned that wrong in the last broadcast, by the way. I think I mentioned a couple times that St. Paul's would meet Tilton later in the season. I was proved wrong afterwards when I went and looked at the schedule. So I apologize for that one if you're returning. And watch that broadcast as well. St. Paul's will not play Tilton later in the season. But they're still on that partial schedule. But St. Paul's, the point of this whole dissertation, here's Cody White. He tried to muscle away in. He made it to the goal line, but didn't really get much further. Schubert will go the other way. He's got some space on the left side, dropping it off for Stadheim, who got by. Owen Stadheim on the goal line. He fanned on the pass, but got it to Schubert anyways. Schubert on the half wall, back towards the middle of the ice. He comes across the face-off circles, drops it off for Cox now. Cade Cox walking the line. Put it off the leg of White and into the corner. Hustling over there is Holiday. Gagnon met him, though. And Vermont Academy will clear. So yes, St. Paul's and Vermont had not met before last season. They played twice last season, once in the regular season in Concord. And then a second time in the Lakes Region consolation tournament that was also in Concord. So the Big Red have never played at Choukas Arena before. This is their first time. And Vermont Academy so far has not beaten the Big Red. St. Paul's went 2-0 last year against the Wildcats, winning 5-4 in the regular season match and then 6-2 in the postseason. Here's Schubert with a head of steam. He came in and fired one high and wide. That puck comes bouncing off the glass. Hepp will hold it at the line. Jack Hepp, he was all tied up, lost it, but Seibold was there to hold the zone. Off the leg of Quincy Green, back towards the middle of the ice. Frechette going in behind the goal with Andrew Peloso. St. Paul's retains possession. Nice spinning move there by Bryson Russell. Loose in the slot. Here's Seibold shooting. And a glove save by Kusenski. He made that one look casual. He just stuck out the glove and picked it out of the air. Vermont so far only 2 shots on goal this period. I think the saves might be in the single digits for Charlie Murphy down to our right. The assistant captain out of North Andover. A steal here by Clayton Maloney, centered it in front. And a good read there by Potvin. He steps up and will lead this to on Rush. He's with O'Connor and he dropped it to him. Riley O'Connor on his backhand. Watched there by Hepp, and he's hit hard and took that one to the head. He's just now getting to his feet, Riley O'Connor. And Hepp, obviously a big kid, and O'Connor kind of on his side. It wasn't directly to the back. We're going to see what the call is, so I'll give you a minute here.
Yes.
I didn't catch that, actually. But it looks like Hepp is gone. He's walking down to our left. St. Paul's, their locker room is in a trailer out back. So he is walking to the locker room. So he's got a game misconduct. Nope, he's going to walk back to the box now. There is 5 minutes on the board, so we still have yet to sort it out. I'm not sure if it's a hit from behind, a hit to the head. Probably lean over the boards here and ask him. Hepp, a big guy, so his midsection was actually where the head of O'Connor is. Kind of a awkward play for him as Hepp is now going off, and hustling over there is Joe Schubert to take his place in the box. So we'll have to get that updated in the intermission for you. It didn't seem intentional on the behalf of Hepp, but nonetheless, I could defend him. I would defend him here, there on that one. But nonetheless, Vermont Academy, a 5-minute power play, which will put them up a man unless they score for the next, 5 minutes. Until there's 4 minutes left in the period. So you want to do the math there, there's 9 minutes left right now. I was able to do that math on air. St. Paul's automatically with the clear, and then this one up and out of play. It goes off the rafters, which I talked about. Right up by us. Probably only 2 arms lengths away or so. Face-off will be in the St. Paul's defensive end. It seemed to me like they were both going in hard, and O'Connor kind of had his shoulders turned towards Hepp. He might have his shoulders turned towards the wall. And Hepp's kind of chest just went right into the head of O'Connor. It didn't seem like any sort of malicious intent whatsoever. Another puck out of play here, and it'll be another face-off in the same spot. We're going to do it all over again. And St. Paul's wins the draw. We'll take the puck as well. Here's Bussey around Gagnon and into the Wildcat end. It's picked up by Owen Sweet behind the goal. Sweet swings it back in front. Bussey, a shot! And a great save by Kusenski. He came across and stole. Malcolm Bussey was looking for his second goal of the night at the top of the crease. O'Connor, he's right back out there. He didn't miss a shift, which I find interesting. That was a direct shot to the head, and I don't see how he doesn't go off for some sort of concussion testing. It was 5-minute major worthy. Ooh, here's a shot by Sweet, and a save is made by Kosenski. That play kind of came out of nowhere. Good hard work below the goal line for the Big Red. I think that was Sweet and Bussy kind of made that happen. Although maybe it was Statheim, as Bussy had just gotten on the bench. I think that was Statheim. I'm not really sure, but good work in below the goal line by the Big Red to engineer that play. Vermont Academy trying to engineer something right now. Here's Gagnon behind the net. He works it out to the far face-off circle. Lunsey! And then backdoor was Peloso. He fanned on the one-timer, a wide-open goal. And now the other way is Statheim. He's all alone. Statheim, a backhanded, a save is made by Kosenski. He had a breakaway from the blue line in. And Statheim even looked behind him to see how much time he had. He cut left and then moved in on goal. The save was made by Kosenski. He's looked like he was exchanging words there on Statheim, trying to distract him. Good close out there by Halliday. Vermont will push further. Miscommunication at the line, but coming in anyway is McComas. McComas dropped it off. Good stick by Halliday to just clear. Push Potvin further and further. Lost it at his feet before dumping it in deep. Rustling down. Almost 2 minutes, almost 3 minutes gone. Still 2:10 remaining in the power play. Of course, the big loss for St. Paul's. Here's a shot by Flinton, and a save is made by Kosenski. The big loss for St. Paul's is their junior captain, who will be out for the rest of this one, presumably with a game misconduct. Puck works deep in the St. Paul's end. They'll try to break out the bouncing pass from Russell. That went up between the Raptors, didn't hit any of them, and I think everyone stopped like they were waiting for the whistle to blow, but we play on because it didn't hit anything up there. This one into the glove of Murphy, who will hold on for a whistle. Face-off will be to the left of Murphy. Off the face-off, it's Martin. Martin, here's Luzzy, a shot, big rebound. Or no, maybe it wasn't a rebound. Just went in behind the goal. Anyway, ended up in that far corner. Turnover, Potvin comes in. Fan on the shot, it's still loose. Back to the face-off circle. Cody White spinning and turning. Frechette and Flinton were giving him a hard time, and now Frechette will find Flinton as St. Paul's breaks out, working one on three, and with a penalty upcoming here to Vermont Academy, Flinton was hooked. I don't think there was much doubt about that one, and right in front of the St. Paul's bench. And that will negate the rest of the power play for Vermont Academy, so I guess a successful kill for St. Paul's is officially in the books. The VA power play will be 0 for 3. Clock stops with exactly 1 minute left in the 5-minute major to Hep, so it'll be 1 minute 4-on-4 and then a 1 minute power play for St. Paul's. Nice and even numbers there. One clock is, that's interesting. They're 1 second off. So one clock will tick down, one penalty clock will tick down 1 second, and the other one will tick down 1 second later. Oh, that's annoying. Wish I didn't notice that one. Here's Sullivan, right side. He put it right through the dangerous area. That is the middle of the ice and out the other side. Couldn't connect on anyone in front of the goal there. Goes off the heel of the skate of Sam Seibold, who then takes a digger. As that puck works deep, no icing as a result of that. Probably would have been. Back out to center here. Luzzy was tracking on the puck, but Seibold will come in for St. Paul's. Seibold working around, having a look. Doesn't like what he sees. He's just going to go back to the line here. Jake Sullivan near the far. It's Mick Frechette. Get the shot off the wall. That rebound comes loose. Sullivan will step in from the line. It's officially a power play for St. Paul's. Schubert's on the ice. He shoots. Picked out of the air. Once again there by Kosenski. Just reached up above the crossbar for that one. We're down to 4:15 left to go in the period. The first period seemed like it was a much shorter frame. St. Paul's has launched 19 shots towards the goal here in the second period alone. Combine that with the 17 in the first, those of you who have calculators. I already talked about this in the first period. Don't do math on there, and especially that kind of math. It's a good tip. There's Flinton, face-off circle, and a shot impeded there. Coming back on the play was Luzzy. I think he might have gotten a piece of it. Schubert. That's Flinton on the far wall now, up high. St. Paul's gets it all set up here on the power play. They got 20 seconds left on it. Flinton cross ice actually ends up in the middle for Bussey, who pitchforked one high. He cut the pass off before it made it to Cox. Cox now. Crisp pass, knocked out of the air, maybe a little too hot to handle there for Flinton. Russell, one-timer, looking for a tip. Schubert was in front. The rebound picked up by Cox. He fanned on the first try on the pass. Officially back to even strength for the first time in 6 minutes as Flinton has it at the face-off circle. Tried to center. It's bouncing around in there. Flinton finds it. And it bounced over his stick, so he has to regroup. Put it off of Gagnon. Loose on the wall here. Cox with a peel. That move by Flinton impeded by Luzzy. Maybe not a dominant outing so far from Flinton, but I just feel like, a lot of the St. Paul's players have been around the puck. To be fair, he's got time and space here and leads in. Hit the goalpost. Just the guy I was going to talk about, and I've talked about him already. He's been right around the puck. 2 assists so far. It's in front for Schubert, and a good save there by Kusenski. Kusenski didn't have to make a save there on the Flinton shot. He put it off the pipe. Looking for his third point. This could be a 2-on-1. Cox the only guy back. O'Connor's going to move in on the left side. Tosses it back towards the middle. And knocked down there is Peloso. Looking around for an arm. And yes, a penalty upcoming to St. Paul's. As Peloso was in alone, Cox decided to play the man. Ooh, dangerous rebound there out in front. And it'll be picked up by Harrison Sweet. So with exactly 2 minutes on the clock. Schubert's going to go off here for a hook, and he's chatting with one of the Vermont Academy players right below us, and it was pretty audible since we're right above center ice, so we can hear pretty much everything that's going on down there. 17 SPS for a hook at Schubert's second time in the box this period. The only penalty that's been assessed to him so far, though. Vermont's fourth opportunity on the power play. Right now, they're 0 for 3. Harrison Sweet coming out of the corner, tapped in front for Levine. And Kusenski comes across to make a good save. That was the defenseman. Pinched in deep. And he was waiting at the top of the blue paint for that puck. And I think he got all of it, too. Just a good save by the goaltender. Not only has Kusenski made many saves, he's made pretty good ones, too. Still 3-0 St. Paul as that drifting shot. Exactly that, drifts wide of the cage. Bounced in from the line there by Levine, and the save is made by Kusenski. Another one towards the front of the net, right to Malone. Malone for Sweet on the back door, coming in, and he's shut down there by Kusenski on the left pad. Moved away there by Riley O'Connor. He gains the line and pitchforks it in. St. Paul's has had the more opportunities on this VA power play. Sorry about the muffling there. This puck gets away from Thor Martin. I do dab my nose in the tissue. Probably TMI. The turnover. It's Owen Sweet to the front of the goal. A nice move. And Kusenski stuck right with him. Good lateral movement by the Vermont Academy goaltender. And by Sweet, for that matter. Sweet had him backed up right along his goal line. And Mason Kusenski, a series of really good stops. There in the last few minutes, shorthanded. Well, he's not shorthanded, but St. Paul's is shorthanded. He's had to make those saves while his team is up a man. Alley-oop pass from Halliday intended for Stadheim, sorry. Never made it to him. 19 seconds left to go in the period for St. Paul's. 2 in the first, 1 here in the second. And I believe that is Joe Schuberts, who is in the box. Probably for about like 1 more second at the end of the period. Maybe one last more opportunity. That was one last more. That was a one-timer there by Sullivan. And it never made it to the front of the goal. 1 second remaining of power play time for the Wildcats. Schubert's the only goal in the second period, and St. Paul's leads 3-0 on the road in Saxton's River, Vermont. Third period coming up next.